So I think what we've learned in working with the CTPS is that when you are trying to be user focused and actually understand the problems that the public have in using services that we offer, that as soon as you open one door, there are 10 behind it that you want to walk through, and it's an almost never-ending challenge, but opportunity as well. And in the practical things that we've really learned is some of the great skills that some of our staff have developed around agile ways of working, some of the user research skills that we've developed, and the real ability to cascade those back into our organization. So yes, working with CTPS has been brilliant for a particular bespoke project we're working on, but the opportunities to take that learning and to share it across our organization and make us a better organization full stop has been remarkable. I think certainly the work that we've done with CTPS has changed the way we think about our services. We went into the work really open-eyed and really keen to test our own preconditions and pre-assumptions around the work that we do. I think a lot of what we heard from the public spoke to our concerns that we were doing things in the wrong way or that we could do things better. But certainly we learnt different ways of working. The delivery can be different, how we work with the public, who we work with, when we work with them. All of these things have revealed a new way of working to us, not just in terms of this bespoke piece of work, but actually, internally, how we have conversations. I think one of the real key things was the show and tells that we've developed with CPTS, and thinking about how we can actually better ensure that across the organization, different departments and a way of work was ongoing, even if they're not potentially involved in that particular work themselves. I think in some senses, the biggest challenge we encountered with this project was just getting going. There was a lot of enthusiasm and a recognition that we wanted to work in a different way. Actually, to start that process, we had to put in place new skills, committed people to a sustained period of time, that human resource being taken away from other projects, and really challenging ourselves that this is the right thing to do, to prioritize. So we are an organization that spins a lot of plates, and I think inevitably when you commit a few members of staff to just doing one thing, but doing it in a really deep and meaningful way, such as we have with this particular project with the CPDS, it does take a lot of commitment, and so that commitment was a big challenge, but we've definitely seen that pay off. We've seen the new skills that those individuals have gained and been able to cascade across the organization, but also the quality of work and the quality of information that we brought back into the organization about our community investments has been second to none, and it will set us up for years to come. I think I'm most proud of the way in which our staff have embraced this approach, not just in terms of their own personal development and the project at hand, but the commitment to think longer term. So we're already looking at different projects that we're going to instigate, and seeing staff members who perhaps were subject experts in a particular issue around community investments we are exploring with the centre actually want to work on areas of the business that have absolutely nothing to do with their day-to-day activities, but they can bring the new skills that they've learned around project management or user research into the organization and deliver better support across departments within the organization. So the way that our staff have embraced it, but also the way we genuinely have put the end user, the public, at the heart of this process. And I think that has been uncomfortable at times because it's forced us to recognize things that we haven't been doing as well as we could have. But the fact that we've not shied away from that challenge and we've been willing to say that we've got things wrong and this is the way we can get them right by putting that individual at the heart of our decision making has really made me proud about what we can achieve in the future, not just what we're doing right now. The experience of working with the CPDS is certainly going to change the way that we work as a team and as an organisation. So there are a few members within the insights and investments team that I oversee here that have gained a huge amount of new skills, and truthfully, they'd be wasted if they went back to their normal jobs doing their normal things. They've got a real opportunity to challenge the way we as a team work and operate, to make us more agile focused, more user-centered, but also the way that they can do that across the organization. We've already got a few projects up and running, and we've taken the skills that we've learned in this initial collaboration into those projects, and we're delivering some of the work that we're doing and have been planning to do in a completely different way now than we would have had we not had this experience. So it's going to reshape the way we work, and it's probably going to reshape the way we employ in future. I think some of the skill sets we'll actually be looking for from future appointees in recruitment will change, because we've got experience of what things such as user researchers can bring to our organization, and we'll want to make sure that we develop some of those skills across multiple individuals in the organizations, and not just leave that skill rest with those who've been part of this project already. I think the biggest challenge for us when it looks at our transformative digital services moving forward are probably around skills and confidence, and they are obviously intertwined. The more skills we've got, the more confidence we're going to have within the organization. We've come out of this collaboration with the centre with a couple of individuals in the organization who have got a real passion for agile ways of working and digital transformation. We've gained some new skills. They're almost evangelical about that process with the organization, which is brilliant to see, and to see them individually thrive. We've obviously got other members of staff right across the organization, from new entries right up to the leadership team, who have not been experienced in this way. And so there's a concern of confidence of maybe doing things wrong. Fortunately, we are an organization that are really wedded to the idea of a safe to fail environment. So it's really important now that we tackle that confidence gap by upskilling, by taking the training that we've had through the centre's work, by ensuring that those who've been fortunate enough to go through this process are given the time and the opportunity and space to embed themselves in other projects, and that we continue to make that commitment to upskill our staff. We continue to make that commitment to work in this way, to the point that actually we can overcome those confidence barriers. But certainly that confidence and skills interchangeable and interlinked challenge is what's facing us, but it's certainly a challenge that we are aware of. And I think maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, it was a challenge we were blindsided with. So that in itself is a real step forward for us. I think user-centered approaches and agile ways of working are going to really help us moving forward. We've already seen that some of the findings from this initial work around community investments, working with the CPDS, has given us a better insight into what the public want. It's going to transform the ways in which we deliver our funding, the ways in which we work with the public and with our partners. And certainly we'll be taking that into other aspects of our business. So having that experience of an agile way of working and a user-focused way of working is going to inform everything we do from now on. If there's any project in future where we are looking at what the problem is, we're going to approach it in the way we've approached this particular problem. And I certainly think that that's going to help the organization's focus moving forward, but also tackling those issues around confidence and skills that we currently see. So embedding the agile way of working to the point that that's the norm, that's the common way of working for Sport Wales, rather than, as it is currently, some people excelling in that work because they've had this experience, and others wanting to play catch up and enthusiastic about learning those new skills. So I see this as being a real positive step forward for us as an organization, and it's now about committing to making that part of our culture moving forward.